There's a lot to work with here.
It's so gross that I had to cover it. You ever seen like a train wreck and you can't look away? That's what this is. So I don't know. You can just play the first video,
Yeah.
then we'll talk about it. I don't
Here
know.
we go. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, here we
I'm
go.
sad already.
Only on the righteous edge.
Only here.
So when did you start getting involved in S work?
Me?
Yeah.
Escorting?
S work, sex work.
Oh, I was like, I don't do that. For me, 4 years ago.
And was this like a prolonged conversation? Like, did you bring this to your husband?
Oh, yeah. He
And
told
was he
me,
on board initially, or did he have
he had his
concerns?
reservations. He definitely had his reservations, and we had good conversations about it. And with those conversations, we made a decision that this was something I was going to do. He kind of knew, though, for some reason, he told me 10 years ago, he knew some way, somehow, I would end up in the corn industry.
May I ask, what was his initial when you brought this to him? Was it a no?
Wait, how did he know that? What?
He just knew.
Was it a no?
What?
Was it a no?
Oh, no. He never said no.
But what was his initial reaction at the beginning?
Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? He kind of knew, I'd been messing around with social media. I was doing, TikToks, Instagrams, Facebook. So I was just like, hey, I'm thinking about taking this to a different direction. Plus, he had already knew that people in our lives had been asking me, like, hey, what do you think about doing this? I think you'd be really great at this. So I had other people in my life.
Wait, other people in your life? What do you mean?
Other friends that were saying, hey, have you ever thought about doing OnlyFans before?
Were they doing OnlyFans or just...
No. I had one girl one night.
Right. Yeah. It's not.
That ain't regular conversation.
No, it's not. Yeah. Well, let's stop
So
this.
just
Yeah.
before we go to the next one, this is not to just make fun of this woman. It's inclusive. We're making fun of her husband
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
why and what and how would a man ever be accepting of behavior like this? Could a man with self-respect ever accept behavior like this? Why in the world?
Right.
And let me give you all a secret, just a little bit more context here. She's not on the panel alone. Her daughter's there. Her daughter is sitting about 2 girls away from her. They look somewhat similar, so you'll be able to spot her. And she and her daughter have little to no respect for the husband/father. And it's very, very sad. I talked about this a week ago, where I talked about how a man must demand respect. And when a woman does not respect you, she treats you like this. This woman has no respect. No respect. To come on a public platform, one of the biggest podcasts with multiple women that is on the internet today, and talk about how she freely talked her husband into, well, we're going to get into it. Let's play the next one. Because I'm not going to give her.
Okay, and remind me, what was his initial response?
Well, he was just kind of like I said, he already kind of knew it was being planted in my life, so he wasn't against it.
You said 10 years ago when you brought it up to him recently.
He knew that in that,
You know what?
how do you say that? In that current time, he knew that people.
If you can. This is the thing that I've noticed about women when they're doing something wrong. Especially women like this, like loose women or women of the night. Or women of ill repute, however you want to call it. Those types of women, when you ask them about a certain scenario, especially if it makes them look bad, they're very vague and they get confused very easily and they can never break down what they're talking about. Did he, yes or no, was he in agreement with you doing A, B, or C? They can never answer yes or no. They have to be very vague because they know what they're doing is wrong. They know they talked this weak man into it. They know they pushed him to do something he didn't want to do. And they just can't come out and say, yes, I was pushing him to do stuff that I wanted to do because I was a 304. They can't say it. Go ahead, you can play it.
People in our lives were talking to me about doing it. Right? So let's say within a 6-month period of time, he knew that other people were asking me. He knew that the seed was planted in my head. So we had conversations about it, but
did he like it or not?
So, but okay, that initial conversation, was he on board? Where was he?
He wasn't against it at all. He was just kind of like, okay,
yes
like,
or
how's
no.
it going to work? How does this operate? What are you going to be doing?
gonna
And
watch
it
this.
was multiple conversations. It just wasn't one conversation.
Was there any sense from you that you sensed he didn't want you to do it?
He has no balls.
I mean, like, of course there was reservations and conversations that had to happen in communication between me and him, but he never once was like, no, you can't do this. I don't want you doing this.
That leads me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
He and here's the thing, and a wicked woman like this will look at a weak man and say, he didn't exactly say no. He was vague. I didn't know. He didn't really disagree. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And this why, as a man, you cannot play. The first sign of somebody doing something stupid like that is a sign for you to let them go. If she's already talking to you about opening up a marriage, then she's already cheating. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. And then you have grounds to be like, you playing around with this, open up the no, you can go ahead and get the I was going to say something crazy. You can go ahead and get the blank on.
Right.
Like, nah, man. I don't know. So the thing about it is, it shows even that the fact that she brought this up to him shows a lack of respect. Because you would never bring that up to a man where you knew the consequences would be dire. If he just said, he looked at you crazy and said, oh, okay, have fun with that, and packed up all his stuff and got up out of there, you never see him again, you wouldn't think to bring that up. It's a reason. And let's continue on in the next video, because it just goes to show you the depths of disrespect they have for this man. Her husband.
Had he said, either initially or in one of these follow-up conversations, I don't want you to do this, and that was his final position on it, how would that have gone?
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it would have went over very well with me. Yeah, I was going to do it.
But expand on that. Oh, but you were going to do it.
But I was being respectful. I was having conversations with him and talking.
How many conversations did you have with him?
Oh, we've been conversating, like I said, 3 months before I even opened my OnlyFans.
Before you open your legs. So this is disgusting to me, because it's like the audacity you have to come on a show like this, talk about your man in this regard, and then say, if he would have said no, that you can't pimp yourself out, that you would have left him?
I like to sit in the corner and watch my wife and her boyfriend plow each other.
Don't be like Ted. Be better.
So he basically, you gave him an ultimatum. Basically, you came to him and said, straight up, listen, I'm about to slut myself out on the internet, and if you don't like it, you can pack your bags and get up out of here. And you know what? I'm gonna say this, and a lot of men ain't gonna like it. That's his fault. That's his fault for putting up with a wicked woman like that. For even thinking to marry a woman of such ill repute, of such low character, with no values, a woman of the night, a 304, a slut monkey, swamp donkey, monkey mouth woman, who's not really that attractive to begin with. She's not attractive to be warranting that type of behavior. You could see if some girl was so fine that she could get away with a lot of stuff and manipulate a lot of men, she ain't even all that. So for her husband to be allowing that, it says, and it speaks to how weak his character is. It speaks to how soft he is. When you meet a man and he's allowed this type of stuff, have no doubt that he has little self-respect, and I hate to use the word mental health. His mental health is in a drain, because you can't respect yourself and let your most prized possession, your woman, go get smutted out on the internet and by other men. By other men. She's filming herself getting banged out by other men, and he's at home saying, "How was work, dear?" Like, the disrespect.
Yeah.
I can't respect it. If I saw him, I don't care if dude was 6'5" and 350 pounds. He's still a little baby girl to me. A baby girl. Because I would feel sorry for him. I'd be like, dude, you just not a man to me. I can't respect you. You let your girl walk all over you like this? And you mad at me for saying what I'm saying? I can say whatever to you. She done did whatever to you. If I come smack you in the face, you can't say nothing because she over here doing all types of stuff with her face. You ain't got nothing to say to me. It ain't nothing you could say. Even if you did beat me up, I'd be like, well, somebody else beating up your girl. Well, why you fighting me? And she loving it. What you gonna say? This is what's disgusting about these people, man. And they both bad. I'm not just bashing him for being weak. I'm bashing her for being a jerk. To get with a man and disrespect him to that degree, unacceptable. We can play the next one.
Ask, you do boy-girl content, right?
I do boy-girl
Do you
content.
do boy-girl content with him?
We do. We have some videos, but priority, not him.
So wait, hold on. You do content with other men?
I do.
Wait.
And independent.
You've been married for 24 years?
Correct.
Have you been monogamous throughout the course of your 24-year marriage?
Oh, no. Him and I have had multiple threesomes and other partners. Sorry, daughter.
But so at the beginning, was it monogamous?
I'd probably say the first maybe 10 years.
The first 10 years. Okay, whose idea was it to open up the relationship?
That would be me.
Okay, and
I was the instigator with that one.
were there, now just not accusing you of anything, but
Yeah.
was there any infidelity prior to your desire to open up the relationship?
Honestly, yes.
Honestly,
Okay.
yes.
And he's aware of
On
it.
your part or on his part?
On my part.
What? He's aware of it and allowed it. This is what I said when I said masculine frame is so important. He has no self-respect. He's aware of his wife's. It'd be different if he wasn't aware. If you are a man, right, and you are not aware that your wife was messing around and you find out 10 years later or some crap like that, that's a whole different type of situation, right? Even then, I would be completely like, yeah, you still got to go. But those situations can get messy. But what I'm talking about is this man knew that she was unfaithful and continued on with this woman. He has no self-respect, and that's why he can't lead his family. And that's why, like, if he was to say, "Hey, honey, I got this job here in Idaho, and it's gonna pay me $300,000 a year. We're gonna have to move by next week," she wouldn't listen to a word he had to say.
Nope.
She don't respect him. It's not about the money. It's about respect. He has no masculine frame. And because of that, she not only can she walk all over, every time she does something with another dude, every time she breaks one of his boundaries that she knows that he doesn't like, she loses more and more respect for him. She could literally walk up to him, spit in his face, and he would probably be like, "Thank you. I was hot." He has no spine. And men like this don't deserve respect either. I think they kind of I ain't gonna go into what, yeah. But in next part of the video, and I think this the last one. I think.
Because they had a pretty rough relationship growing up, like in general. So it was like if he wanted to stay like that was his choice. You know what I mean? Like because he obviously wasn't doing the things that he needed to be doing as a man. And
wait, just to clarify, that's your biological father, right?
Yes, this is my father.
Right, but this kind of almost flagrant, right? Like your daughter's there, and she just kind of runs her old man down, and
I'm not running him down. I'm just
you're kind of running him down.
How? I'm just saying that at the end of the day, like, there was other things that my mom was gonna do, like modeling and stuff like that, and my dad, because of his being jealous and stuff like that, caused us to not be able to have a different life that we were supposed to have.
Where did she get that messaging from? Where did she get it from? She said, my mom wanted to do modeling, but because of my dad's jealousy, we didn't have the stuff we were supposed to have. Where did that messaging come from? Who packaged that up and gave her that message?
I wonder. I think it might have been someone sitting at the table with her.
I wonder. It
Yeah.
wasn't the boogeyman.
No.
And here's the thing. When you lose respect and masculine frame in your household, expect that woman not to just ruin you, but to also ruin your children and turn them against you. She has no respect for you, so why should she teach the kids to have respect for you?
Exactly.
You think she's gonna go out of her way and be like, yo, even though I treated your father like this, and even though I cheated on him, and even though I don't respect him, even though I call him names in front of you, you should respect him now. No! Her daughter is following the suit, following the same. Her daughter's in OnlyFans. She's in OnlyFans. He has a whore wife, and now he has a whore little daughter. And they both follow in the same line and will have the same result. And it's just sad to see, man. Like, I would say I would want to talk to this dude, but ain't no talking. I can't talk him out of this.
No.
I can't talk him out of it. He need, like, to be born again, for one. He need to know Jesus Christ. Second of all, he need to stop being such a punk. You can't live life as a punk.
No, you can't.
All day. People are just punking you here, punking you there, taking your stuff, taking your wife. A dude can message you right now and be like, hey, by the way, your wife was really great in the sack last night. And you just take it?
Yeah.
I can't live like that, dude. I'd rather be dead.
No, exactly.
I would rather be dead than have all these dudes walking around saying, yeah, and if you want to see me and your wife and how we got down last night, buy your wife's OnlyFans. I can't live like that. People, and here's the other thing. People say, well, some people can. No, you can't. You have to have such little self-respect and such little regard for yourself that you just don't see your own self as a human being. You see yourself as a piece of trash or whatever, but he's going through it right now, man. I know he is. He can't sit be at home and just like, and some people will say, everybody doesn't think like you. And yes, he does. He's still a man. He's still a man who's attracted to women. He can be perverted and messed up, but even in your messed up ways, along the lines, you like, something about this ain't right. Something about it ain't right. You got to speak to yourself internally and be like, man, how did I let this get so far? You cannot. I don't care what you're into. Seeing your daughter, maybe your wife, and you just like, well, she's a whore and she does what she wants to do, and I mess around on the side, she messes around on the side.
But your daughter,
But your daughter? Your daughter? You cool with that? You can be a lot of things. Even with me, with my children, right? There's things I went through, and I had a really good upbringing by a pastor, father, and my mother is also a really good godly woman. There's things that I went through that I would never want my kids to go through. And look at this man. He can just watch this show where his daughter is openly disrespecting him and on OnlyFans, and his wife is on OnlyFans, and he's just fine. Can somebody convince me that's not how men think? Something's wrong with him, and somebody needs to watch and make sure this man is okay. You gonna say something, Mr.
No,
Producer?
I was like, check on this guy quick. I mean, someone should,
please
just check to see, just check on the guy, please.
Don't leave any weapons around.
No. I mean,
don't leave any long rope around him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him go anywhere beyond the second floor of any house.
Right.
He's in danger. Y'all don't understand. Like, this man, he ain't gonna make it. And y'all over here laughing. I'm being serious. He is not gonna make it. I would say this. As a Christian man, what do you learn from something like this? The Bible, this is why the Bible commands you. I don't care what people say about the patriarchy and equal relationships. That stuff is crap. Lead your household. You have no choice. Joshua 24:15. And I know we don't got it, but I'll read it. If there's my fault. It says, choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. It's not an option. You don't get Joshua said what we will do. He didn't say, I'm going to ask my wife. He didn't say, well, my daughter, she's really been wanting to start an OnlyFans, so me and the other people will serve the Lord. Me and my house will serve the Lord. I don't know why you people think that this is an option. In Colossians 3:18, it talks about wives submitting to your husband. 1 Timothy 3:4-5, it talks about what a church leader and how he has to be able to lead his own home with dignity and respect. And that if a church leader can't lead his own household, he can't even be involved in church leadership. If he has a wife or a daughter or a son that disrespects him, he cannot be leading church. It's a reason for that. How you going to lead a flock that God gave you, and you can't even lead a family that you chose to make? You have no business being leading the house of the Lord when your family is cussing you out, when they don't respect you. That's a disgusting man. Nobody respects a man like that.